Yo, what's going on, everyone? I just wanted to do a quick video just to give you guys some updates about my thoughts on Call of Duty Vanguard, because it's been a week since I've even posted a video at all. That's because just life has been busy. I've been working a lot on my movie channel. Of course, link in the description if you want to check out that channel. I have a lot of content on there, and I've been really working hard there. I've been working hard in school, of course. I'm still in college, so I have tons of classes I got to work on. You know, I've had other things outside of that as well that I've been taking care of, so it's been quite busy. I haven't had much time to even play much Vanguard, and when I have had time to play some video games, I've been actually focusing on Black Ops Cold War because I'm trying to get done my big Black Ops Cold War review video, which should be up within the next few weeks. I'm still putting some touches on it, and I just wanted to make as good as it possibly can be. That's very exciting. And I've also been playing a little bit of Battlefield 2042 that came out. Halo Infinite also came out recently. I have not played it yet, but I'm definitely planning to. So when it comes to Vanguard, haven't really played much multiplayer. But what I wanted to talk about today was zombies, and the fact that I haven't touched Vanguard Zombies since launch day. I am not exaggerating. I have not played a single game of Vanguard Zombies since November 5th, the first day it came out. I have not touched it since then. I played it a couple times, did a review video, and that's it. It's been, what, like 13 something days since that? I don't know how many days exactly, but it's been about 13 or so days, about 2 weeks since the game came out, and I have not touched zombies since then. The simple reason is, like I said in my review video, it's just not fun. There's nothing to it that really makes me want to go back and play more. I've experienced everything there is to experience, and I already did a video talking about what this mode needs in order to be better, but I kind of wanted to talk about something a little bit differently today, because we can just talk on and on about what this mode needs to actually improve itself, and it needs a lot. Like that's the bottom line, is that it needs a lot. It's not just like, oh, they need to add the pause feature and stuff. Like, of course they need to add that, but there's so much more beyond just adding a pause feature that zombies in Vanguard really does need, like desperately needs. And again, that video, I went into a little bit of detail, but at the end of the day, what I think zombies needs to do, and this is a thing I've been thinking about for quite some time here. Zombies needs more things to do. That's literally it. And when I say more things to do, no, I don't mean more maps. I don't mean more guns. I don't mean more perks. That's not what I mean when I say they need more things to do. When I say more things to do, I mean tasks, quests with rewards, whether it's in-game or out of the game. That is what they should be focusing on for zombies in total, because you already have your typical round-based aspect. Well, they don't right now in Vanguard, but they could, and they should, and they probably will. But even in like Cold War's sake, like you already have that typical round-based experience. You can load up the game, just kill zombies, pack a bunch of weapons, get your perks, and go to as high of a round as possible. You can still do that. Everyone has that opportunity, so that casual audience who only wants to play zombies to do that can easily do that. You could have done that for literally any zombies map ever. The only time it makes it a little bit more difficult for the casual audience is when you have a map like Shadows of Evil, where getting Pack-a-Punch is not that easy. So then you would kind of say, okay, maybe there should be a mode that automatically unlocks Pack-a-Punch. I don't think the solution to this problem is to just make the maps easier. I think the solution should have always been just give us a different mode that makes it easier to do these things, which BO4 kind of did in some ways with custom mutations. But in general, I think that's a better solution. But just talking about what they give us in the maps themselves, we need maps that just have a lot of things to do on it that doesn't involve just running around in circles shooting zombies for hours upon hours. I want variety in every one of my games, and I feel like we get to this point now in zombies, at least the past couple CODs, not Black Ops 4 though. I think Black Ops 4 is the last one that really had this, so I'm really only talking about Cold War Vanguard, but you even saw this with older zombies as well. You just get into this very, very standard feeling of, okay, I'm going to do literally the same thing every time I load up this map. I'm going to go to the same location, I'm going to train in the same spot, I'm going to get similar weapons, the same perks, and just do that again and again until I get bored of it. And usually I get bored of that pretty damn quickly. And I'm worried that Vanguard is going to have that same problem whenever they decide to finally add round-based content. I'm worried it's going to be the same as Cold War, where it's a very simplistic map, very bare bones. Easter egg is like one of the easiest things you've ever done in your life that takes absolutely no thought to complete. And I don't want that to be the case. I want something that has a little bit more depth to it. And it's not that Cold War has no depth, because there is some to it. There's some side quests in some of the maps. You have Outbreak, which has some quests and stuff, but at the end of the day, they're all pretty simple quests, and they're not very rewarding either. They're very easy, and the rewards are usually not that good, and they're just not in depth. There's no thought behind it. There's no puzzles. There's no like, okay, I'm gonna try to figure this out the best way I could. It's just you just do it. Like, you just play zombies the normal way and you complete it. Like, there's no depth is the word I'm thinking of. That's the most important thing. I think zombies needs more depth, and I don't feel that in Cold War. I clearly don't feel that in Vanguard, even though I've literally only played like 4 matches, because I've done everything. I've used pretty much all the guns, and even then, I don't care about the other guns I haven't used, because it's not going to change my experience that much. You know, it's not like we're not in 2015 anymore. And I think that's the important thing to note, is that yeah, if you compare this to like World at War, yeah, sure, this is more content than World at War, but we're in 2021 now. We've gotten games like Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 and Infinite Warfare when it comes to the zombies content. You can't just take a step backwards, and I feel like that's what Cold War did with zombies, even though there were some pretty cool things with it, especially with the mechanical changes, but when it comes to the content depth itself, it felt like it took a big step backwards, and you can't take leaps backwards like that. You just can't. I think they need to innovate while keeping the core gameplay foundation, but also just give us a lot of it. You know what I mean? If you want to do some completely new mode, go for it, but keep the standard modes there too. I've had plenty of ideas for some really cool modes, and I think they should really kind of dig into it, because you have your standard round-based survival. Why not do like tower defense maps and modes? I always thought that would be really cool, and I thought they had a pretty good opportunity to do that in like Black Ops 3, and even in Cold War. Black Ops 3, I always thought, how cool would it be if the Garad Krovi Pack-a-Punch area was a separate map that you can play on in this like tower defense like mode, where waves of zombies just come and attack this house, and you have to protect it, like a tower defense mode, because that's what originally Nocturne Totem was meant to be, but they kind of designed it a little bit differently so it would be more inclusive into the map itself, rather than you killing zombies outside of the map, which sometimes people did, but most of the time you kind of let them come in anyways. But it would be really cool if we had modes where it was like a full-on tower defense, where you can like upgrade defenses and stuff, and you can like level up like sentry guns and stuff. That would be awesome. And they could have done that in Cold War with Firebase Z. Firebase Z had built-in defense areas of the map in the match itself. You could have had each of those areas as separate survival maps that could have been tower defense survival maps. You could do a lot with that. You could give us modes like Grief, which I think a lot of people have been asking for, and there's actually been some leaks about there being some inclusion of a Grief mode in Vanguard, but I'm not sure how true those are. I'm not sure how accurate they are, or if it's going to be something very different than Grief. It's just kind of labeled similarly as Grief in the code. Not too sure. But yeah, when you add all these different things, you just add more replayability. That's all you're doing, really. You're just adding more replayability, and this is without asking the obvious things like, oh, we just want more maps. Like, the problem with just asking for more maps is, yeah, it takes a lot of time to do that. That's not something they can just conjure up. It's not something they can just snap their fingers and just have a new map here for us. I would have loved if Cold War had 5 new maps instead of just 4 for round-based, but at the same time, I mean, that wasn't even my biggest complaint with Cold War. Like, if they just gave us more content on those 4 maps, they just jam-packed them with stuff, then I wouldn't have cared. You know, you could have like 10 maps that have like barely any content on it. I'd rather have 4 maps that are like Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 4 quality when it comes to the amount of depth these maps have. And I think Black Ops 3 and 4 and Infinite Warfare are the 3 best examples of the most depth in any zombies mode. Those went deep. Even World War II to an extent. I wasn't a big fan of World War II, but those maps actually did have a lot of depth to them, even though the maps I still didn't like. Just having depth does not automatically make the maps great. I'll keep that in mind, obviously, but I think the other 3 games definitely nailed it. And not in all the maps as well. Some of the maps did. I don't think all of the maps did. Some of them went too far with it, to the point where their main quest was just borderline tedious, as opposed to actually just being a thought-provoking, fun Easter egg. Because yeah, yes, there is an extreme of when you're going too far into making it too deep to the point where it's not even fun anymore. That definitely exists, but you can still do deep things that are incredibly in depth while it's still being not tedious and still being fun. And I think they haven't really nailed that in a lot of maps because they do weird steps here and there, especially in like Black Ops 4, where it's something that you can't really do unless you have someone hold a zombie. And if you want to do it solo, you gotta like try to do it between rounds or like shoot the ground with a wonder weapon if you have a wonder weapon on that map that does that, to try to do it while the zombies maybe aren't on you, maybe throw a monkey bomb or something. Like there's all sorts of things you have to try to do in a bunch of different steps in Black Ops 4. And I feel like if they just made those steps so you can do them without zombies hitting you, it completely fixes the issue that I had with those steps. This video went in all sorts of random directions in terms of what we were talking about, but I kind of just wanted to throw it all out there. Vanguard Zombies, I don't really care about it right now. I'm looking forward to whatever they add in the future, but I don't have high expectations. My expectations are the lowest they've ever been for a new zombies mode. I'm definitely looking forward to playing more Vanguard multiplayer because I actually kind of enjoy the multiplayer a little bit. I don't love it, but I enjoy it. And yeah, I'm gonna look forward to doing that Black Ops Cold War review. Definitely gonna do maybe a video on Battlefield 2042, maybe on Halo. I have no idea. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.